Hola amigos! What an amazing week 2 in the CPL! We've got a logjam on top of the standings now that all teams have played. Let's have a look back and see how it all went down. First, Valor's 2-1 win over Pacific FC from last Wednesday night was a fun game to watch with a ton of chances for both teams. Probably should have had more goals. Valor looked great. Skylar Thomas might be the best defender in the league. He's big and he's always in the way. Stephen Hoyle gets the first goal set up by Petrasso, and Dylan Carrero gets the winner, a deflection off the defender's foot. Hey, gotta be lucky to be good sometimes. And obviously Marcus Haber. He missed a few shots, including that crazy sequence where he hit the post twice in a couple of seconds, but fear not, Pacific FC fans. Haber's look dangerous, and as long as he does so, he's going to lead this team to goals and wins sooner rather than later. No need to panic on Haber just yet. Saturday started at a rainy Wanderers ground at Halifax as they hosted Forge FC. I already have a whole video on the vibe from this game, so I won't spend too much time on it. Emery Welshman continues to be a bit like Haber of Pacific. Nothing yet, but you can see the quality. The goals will come. Kyle Becker was much better this week. He created space for his teammates, and he had some good strikes, including one off the crossbar. And Cadell Thomas again scores for Forge. But Halifax was better in possession this week, and they used their speed to win. Both goals came off a Forge player. When the block didn't get out of the box, a speedy Halifax defender rushed in to drive it home. First Garcia, then Pereira. Great to see Pereira finally debut, and props to Wanderers keeper Jan Michael Williams as well, on an amazing save in the dying minutes to preserve a 2-1 victory. York 9 FC at Cavalry FC in Calgary. First half. Okay, it wasn't that bad. Calgary got their first ever goal from Jordan Brown, so that's cool. But the pitch was so slanted in favor of the home side, it wasn't a lot of fun to watch for a neutral. York were missing their two best midfielders in Manny Aparicio and Joseph Duchella, and it showed. They couldn't get anything going. Despite the coming out party for Emilio Estevez, he was fantastic in this game. But Calgary did hold the ball all day long. In the second half, number 1, more fans made it into the ground, so that's good. And number 2, it went from rain to snow. And just when it looked like it was going to be a cakewalk with Sator's set-piece header in to give Calgary the 2-0 advantage, Simon Adji of York scores late to put a little bit of tension into the game, but it was as close as they would come. Cavalry was dominant all day long, and they win it 2-1 over York. You know what a chameleon is, right? Those lizards that can change colors to give themselves camouflage? Well, you know what's the opposite of a chameleon? Valor FC on Saturday, because they didn't change at all. Full credit to FC Edmonton. They played a perfect road game, basically parked a bus from the beginning. For the most part, the gameplay was Valor playing it into the box, and Edmonton's defense got rid of the ball. Into the box, and out. Into the box, and out. Control-C, Control-V, 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 Control-V. Still, when the first half ended and Edmonton was up 1-0 on a deflected scramble in front, no worries, right? Well, Edmonton added another on a set piece, and Valor never changed their game plan. They always seem to be looking for that extra touch to beat the defender, but it wasn't working with Edmonton in full-on defense mode. Valor needed more balls on goal. Make the goalie do something. Maybe get an ugly goal or a deflection, or at least fire it off a defender and get a corner, or just go straight through the defenders. After all, Valor finally did score on a penalty when FC Edmonton was forced to foul in the box. Valor needed more shots from anywhere, but they just didn't change their attack style when they needed to, and Edmonton held on for that perfect 2-1 road win. So week 2 done and dusted, let's look ahead to week number 3 around the Canadian Premier League. We're going to kick things off action on Wednesday with 2 games going on. Forge FC back at home hosting Pacific FC, and Cavalry will be hosting Valor as well out at Spruce Meadows. Here's how I see the teams lining up for this one, and even the teams that are playing twice this weekend. You're getting one formation card, because these things take time. I've got Quillen Roberts in goal to start for Forge, because I think at some point he has to, especially with the team sitting on 1 point through 2 games right now. The back, pretty much what you would expect. Samuel, the anchor in there, Owundi and Awa also on the field. You'll note no Kyle Becker in midfield, as Becker has picked up a 2-game suspension, and he will not be in the lineup this weekend for Forge, going back to what happened in the opening game. And then, of course, up top, Emery Welshman, Cadell Thomas, who's provided the offense thus far for Forge, Chris Nanko also up there, Borges in the midfield to move the ball up to the attackers for Forge FC. For Pacific FC, couple of changes from their last one out. McNaughton I've got back in the lineup here to play alongside Starocic. Starocic hopefully is going to be back into the lineup for Pacific FC, and McNaughton has served the one-game suspension for the red card that he picked up, so he can return to the lineup. Other than that, it's a lot of the usual suspects going on with Pacific, like guys like Fisk and Caden Chung out on the wing, Verhaven and Baldissimo in the middle. Hernandez, hey, he got a goal last time, give him some more playing time, playing up front with Marcus Haber, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is the breakthrough we finally see Haber find the score sheet for Pacific FC. Game number 2, Cavalry FC playing host to Valor FC, and for Calgary this will be just their second game. It'll be at home as well. You've got Brown, who scored one of their goals up top, along with Malonga, the other big striker there. Julian Boucher controlling the midfield as well. Camargo, Ledgerwood, Escalante, Akudilbe, all the usual suspects in there. Zator that had the header goal as well. Waterman, and I've got Mason Trafford in there as well, as we see a little bit of changeover for the Cavs, and Marco Carducci in goal for Calgary. For Valor FC, I've got them lining up in a 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, depending on how you want to look at it. Skylar Thomas, who has been so good on defense already this year, anchors the back line. In the middle, Gutierrez, Golibar, Dylan Sacramento, Belangoyet in there, Carrero, Stephen Hoyle, and Petrasso up top for Valor. One game in the CPL on Saturday, and that will be Valor FC back at home in Winnipeg, taking on the Halifax Wanderers in that one. For Halifax, this is how I think they might line up, although I may be off when it comes to the whole Canadian content thing. Peter Schala and Andre Bona, of course, are from Germany and France, but they played U Sports in Canada. Do those guys count or not? If they don't, then that's way too many international players, but we'll see what happens along the way. Playing in Winnipeg against Valor, Valor's midfield is very, very good. I expect them to have a lot of control of the ball. Halifax is going to have to play counterattack in this one, and that means getting all of the speediest players possible on the field to try and use that counterattack. Zoom Langlois, Zach Secunda, Andre Bona, Chris Ensa also on there, Ida, Garcia, and of course Perea up top to try to lead Halifax on that counterattack and see if they can make something happen on the road for the first time this season. And finally, 2 games on Sunday in the CPL coming up on May the 12th. Forge will host Cavalry. We've already seen both of those lineups. Also, Pacific will continue their road trip at FC Edmonton. FC Edmonton will be playing only their second game this season. Connor James in goal. He was spectacular getting them that road win in their first game. Expect him to start in the home opener. On the back, we've got Temguia, who got one of the goals for FC Edmonton in their victory. Also Didic, Moses, and Soria on the back end. Yong Chan, James Marcelin, and a couple of new faces in there as well, as we get a little squad rotation for Cabra and Amanda. Also Edwini Bonsu and Diuk up top for FC Edmonton. I don't think there's any real big surprises there. That's all for now. Lots of action on the way in Week 3. Get out there and enjoy it. Support your local CPL club. Until we meet again, my name is the Soccer Rudo, and I wish you and your club many goals and good lucha things.